Hello, dear friends. You are on the channel where we reveal the most mysterious and fascinating myths and legends from around the world. Today, we will dive into one of the greatest mysteries of Greek mythology, the story of the Minotaur. Was it a real monster, or is it just a creation of human imagination? We'll share not only ancient stories, but also offer you some new, fictional versions that will intrigue even the most skeptical viewers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and leave your comments because we always love discussing myths and mysteries with you. To understand who the Minotaur was, we need to delve deep into ancient Greek mythology. There are many versions of this myth, but one of the most famous tells that the Minotaur was the son of the mighty sea god Poseidon and a woman who was both a victim and a mistress of her own desires. Pasiphae, the wife of King Minos. It all began when King Minos of Crete received a beautiful white bull from Poseidon as a sign of divine favor. However, Minos decided not to sacrifice the bull as required by the god, instead keeping it for himself. This angered Poseidon, and in his wrath, he cursed Pasiphae with an uncontrollable desire to fall in love with the bull. Pasiphae called the craftsman Daedalus to create a special device, a wooden cow, so she could crawl inside it and unite with the bull. And so, from this union, the Minotaur was born, a terrifying creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull. Now, with the monster in the world, King Minos, to hide this terrifying creation, ordered the construction of the Labyrinth, a vast and intricate structure where the Minotaur would remain, waiting for its next sacrifice. Why a bull? The bull symbolizes great strength, untamed energy, and aggression. Bulls in ancient cultures were often ritual animals, seen as messengers of the gods, and their strength was associated with the origins of both light and darkness. The bull was that animal aspect that embodied nature's force, one that cannot be controlled by man. This monster with the head of a bull, living deep inside the labyrinth, represents the untamable force, the chaos that has no limits. Interestingly, the Minotaur isn't the only such mythical figure in world mythology. In many cultures, we encounter beings that combine human and animal traits. This symbolizes humanity's struggle against the wildness of nature, its dark instincts. For example, the Egyptian Sphinx, a combination of a man and a lion, or the Chimera, another terrifying creature in Greek mythology with the head of a lion, the tail of a snake, and the body of a goat. However, the Minotaur became the most famous due to its strong connection with the labyrinth and the mystery that surrounded it. But what happened after the Minotaur's birth? According to the myth, King Minos, to appease the gods, agreed to send 7 young men and 7 young women from Athens to Crete every year. These were living sacrifices for the monster, who was hungry and eternally waiting for a fresh supply of victims. The fear among the Athenians was horrific, as each year they had to choose young people to send to their deaths. This part of the myth shows how great civilizations once offered sacrifices to appease their gods. Understanding chaos and the destructive power of nature through deification, the Minotaur becomes a symbol of this need for sacrifices. But there was one man who decided to put an end to this terrifying cycle. Theseus, the son of the Athenian king, set out for Crete to kill the Minotaur. But could an ordinary man defeat such a monster? Not quite. Here he was helped by Ariadne, the daughter of Minos, who fell in love with Theseus and decided to help him after he killed the Minotaur. She gave him a ball of thread so that Theseus could navigate the labyrinth without getting lost. Thanks to this, Theseus was able to kill the Minotaur and find his way out of the labyrinth, leaving the thread behind to guide his return. But here's what's interesting. Did Theseus really defeat the Minotaur? Could any of us have done the same so boldly, to venture into the labyrinth? And what was the price of this victory? Was it truly a liberation? Theseus defeated the monster, but the labyrinth remained, and its mysteries were left unsolved. The Minotaur is not just a monster. It symbolizes not only external enemies, but also our inner dark sides, which we must battle every day. The labyrinth in which the Minotaur lives is a metaphor for our own fears and doubts, which can confuse us and lead to chaos. Theseus, by defeating the monster, did not just free his country, but overcame the inner fear that could have destroyed his life. The Minotaur appears in many works of art. In the Renaissance, when artists turned to ancient mythology, we see numerous depictions of this creature, often alongside other mythological figures. It was portrayed as a symbol of immense strength, combining with humanity's internal struggle. One of the most famous paintings depicting the Minotaur is the work of Peter Paul Rubens, which shows the mythical battle between man and monster. This image has become a metaphor for many generations who sought paths to victory over inner chaos. The Minotaur continues to inspire modern filmmakers. In movies like Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, the Minotaur appears in a new form, as a symbol of the struggle between the worlds of fantasy and reality. In modern cinema, we often see the Minotaur as more than just a monster, but as an expression of deeper psychological and social issues. In contemporary art, the Minotaur often symbolizes the internal struggle with our dark instincts and desires. It becomes an image of what is hidden within ourselves, something we struggle to control. This is especially relevant in today's world, where each of us faces our own labyrinths of fears, doubts, and battles with our shadows. In 1923, on the Greek island of Crete, several mysterious attacks on livestock were reported, with locals claiming to have seen a large creature with the head of a bull. Could these have been hoaxes, or did something resembling the Minotaur truly remain in the forests of Crete? This question remains open. It's unclear whether it was just a beast or a previously unknown species, but this incident made many people wonder if there might still be unsolved mythical creatures in our world. Some modern scientists have theorized that the Minotaur could have been a real creature that once existed on Crete. This could be the result of a rare genetic mutation, where a human or an animal developed unusual features. So it's no wonder that so many people believe in the actual existence of this monster. Well, perhaps we'll never know the definitive answer, but one thing is clear. This myth has survived through history because it truly captures the imagination. Imagine that a group of archaeologists discovers the labyrinth, lost deep within the tunnels of Crete, and learns that the Minotaur not only existed, but left behind mysterious traces in the underground chambers. What if we found evidence that the Minotaur still lives beneath the earth, and its existence is hidden from the world? What if Theseus never killed the Minotaur? Imagine he actually became part of the labyrinth, transforming into the new guardian who forever awaits his victims in the shadows of dark walls. What if the Minotaur appeared today? How would we perceive it? Perhaps the Minotaur would become a symbol of our internal enemies, which we fight every day. Or maybe it would even become part of our world. The Minotaur is not just a monster. It symbolizes our struggle with our fears, dark instincts, and our inner labyrinths. It reminds us that even in the toughest challenges, we can find the strength to overcome them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about myths and legends, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Leave your comments and we'd love to discuss other myths and mysteries of the world with you. See you next time, friends.